Hello aspirants, looking at current affairs for 28th June. The news items picked up from the Hindu newspaper are these 8. We'll look at them in detail. The first one, Doval holds talks with Chinese counterpart. So this we had discussed that National Security Advisor Mr. Ajit Doval, he will be in China, in Beijing for the NSA's National Security Advisors meeting of BRICS members. So BRICS is a multilateral grouping comprising of 5 nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. So on the sidelines of this, India and Chinese NSA's National Security Advisors also met and bilateral issues and major problems were discussed. So this is significant in the context of the standoff which we are seeing presently at Doklam region, which is the trilateral junction between India, China and Bhutan. So this standoff still continues between the two armies of India and China. So this now a breakthrough would come forth. This is visible because here the problems are seen to be discussed. Back in India, the External Affairs Minister has clearly stated that India does not hesitate to protest whenever differences arise with China about issues like stapled visa. So stapled visas is an issue which we'll discuss. So this is one issue, and Dalai Lama's visit. So visit of Dalai Lama. So when such cases come up, the differences are always put forth before China. We do protest, and she says that yes, we are committed to improving bilateral ties as well. So both aspects are handled. So this is there. Now what is this stapled visas issue? So stapled visas are issued by China specifically to Indian citizens from Arunachal Pradesh. So the Arunachal Pradesh state is claimed by China as part of Tibet. So that is why the citizens from Arunachal Pradesh are not considered by China as citizens of India, but they are citizens of their own country. So when they demand visa, of course visa has to be provided for them to visit to China, but then the visa is stapled on their passports because the passport is an Indian passport. So China cannot accept Indian passport. That indirectly means that it is accepting that they are citizens of India. So this is the stapled visas issue. And the visit of Dalai Lama, we know Dalai Lama is the spiritual leader of Tibetan Chinese here. So he is said to be a separatist leader as such, but Dalai Lama has reiterated time and again that he wants peace and wants to be within China. But Chinese attitude towards Dalai Lama has always been aggressive, and that is why it is seen whenever a visit by Dalai Lama to a region, especially in Arunachal Pradesh. Tawang is the region where the monasteries are located. Buddhist monasteries are prominently located. So here, whenever visit comes to Arunachal Pradesh, the Chinese protests do come forth, and we also put forth our differences. So this is there. Another point which is put forth here is regarding the Astana consensus. So Astana was where the SCO summit took place in June 2017, where India also became a member of SCO. SCO is another multilateral grouping, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So when this summit also took place, we have discussed in detail. Both India and Pakistan became members of SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. To be specific, around 8th of June was when the SCO summit was also held. So at this SCO summit on these sidelines, there was no standoff at that time. So then the Astana consensus was brought forth. Indian and Chinese leaders had agreed that both sides would resolve disputes through negotiations. So this point has also been reiterated by India now. At that time, it was said that India-China bilateral ties are a factor of stability in the region. So these points are highlighted again by India. Then the next news item is panel to sift genuine dowry cases, Supreme Court. So Supreme Court has now ordered that a family welfare committee should be set up. Whenever a case of dowry is registered with a magistrate or in a police station, they have to forward these cases to this family welfare committees, and they have to look into the matter within 1 month, report as such on it, and only after that an arrest can also take place of any person with respect to the case. So this is there. No arrest should be done before that, and also bail should be given on the same day in such cases. So such suggestion is coming from the Supreme Court. Such an order is coming from the Supreme Court because it is seen that dowry provisions as such, section 498A of the IPC, this is abused, very much abused. Means this for flimsy reasons, this case is filed, dowry harassment case is filed by people. So that is why now Supreme Court is coming stern on this, and it is saying that there needs to be these family welfare committees established. So this will come up in all districts under the aegis of National Legal Services Authority of India. That is NALSA. So we'll see what is NALSA also. So here this is there. So this will be a 3-member body, Family Welfare Committee, and it will be set up by District Legal Services Authority. So there is NALSA, there is a State Legal Services Authority too, and at district level too, there are these District Legal Services Authorities. So this committee, Family Welfare Committee, will be a 3-member body set up by the District Legal Service Authority. So it will comprise of legal volunteers or social workers, retired persons, wives of working officers, and other alert citizens as such. So this will be a body established. So this will look into the complaint and also investigate the genuineness of it. So an inquiry can be initiated by them to find out the genuineness of the complaint. They can directly get in touch with the parties involved as well, but then the members will not be called as witness in case there is a trial. So these members of Family Welfare Committee have the authority. They have the authority to decide whether the case is a genuine dowry case or not. But when the case is initiated as such, then the members will have no responsibility to come forth as witnesses in the trial. So of course the cases are protracted. So this one aspect has also been put in. So this is there. And so this now another thing is, what is this National Legal Services Authority? So here the details are given. This was constituted under Legal Services Authorities Act of 1987. So this is the body, NALSA, which provides free legal services to weaker sections of the society. So even Lok Adalats are established as such under the NALSA, Legal Services Authority Act. So Lok Adalats are there for amicable settlement of disputes. Means at the Lok Adalat, you don't need to go through the entire judicial process, because it is protracted, the cases go on for years. So rather than that, if the two parties are ready to settle dispute among themselves amicably, means in a cordial manner, then Lok Adalats can be approached as such and the case can be quickly settled. So this Lok Adalats are also established under the Legal Services Authority Act. The NALSA plays a role here. So this is there, the 1987 body. So this is through an act of the Parliament. So here this is provided as such. So there you can see there are there's a 4-tier system as we just saw too. So there is a National Legal Service Authority, State Legal Service Authority, District Legal Service Authority, and also at the Taluka level there's a Legal Service Authority. Then the next news item is, the doctor is in, or is it? So this is regarding the doctors who have MBBS degree. So these doctors also practice as general practitioners, and also there are practitioners of traditional Ayurvedic and Unani medicines and homeopaths. They also function as general practitioners. They also call themselves doctors, and also they prescribe allopathic medicines, means the modern medicines, and they call it crosspathy, that both are mixed as such. So this is causing heartburn to MBBS doctors, and that is why Indian Medical Association, which has come up with a solution to this, and they have registered for this, they have initiated the process to register for this emblem for doctors with MBBS degree. So this symbol as such, which is shown here, this will indicate that they are doctors who have studied modern medicine. So this is a red cross with the letter doctor in the center. So this was a no objection certificate has been taken from Intellectual Property Office. So this means that this trademark is not identical or deceptively similar to any other trademark which is registered as such with the Trademark Authority as such, Intellectual Property Office, that is under the Trademarks Act of India. So this is the no objection certificate. Now they are going to register it for a trademark as such too. But then an objection is being raised because this symbol, which I should show you, this is the symbol, a red cross with doctor in the center. So this symbol, actually it is said that the doctors who have studied modern medicine, MBBS doctors, they can use this symbol when they are giving prescriptions, or and as a signage also. So this indicates that they have modern medicine MBBS degree as such. So this is there. So the objection which has been raised is this cross is very much similar to the cross used by the International Committee of the Red Cross, or the Red Cross as it is called. So this actually symbol has been recognized under the 1864 Geneva Convention as a distinct sign for medical relief teams on battlefields, because Red Cross provides services in harsh conditions. So here this is a distinctive sign used for that. So that is why this Red Cross should not be used for other purposes to, to create confusion. Even India has this Geneva Convention Act of 1960, under which it has specifically mentioned that the Red Cross emblem cannot be used. Any design or wording of it cannot be used by anybody without the permission of the central government. So this is India's act also specifying regarding this. So this is one objection as such raised. Also, you should know about Red Cross. It is an old body established in 1863. So it works to provide humanitarian assistance to people affected by conflict and armed violence. So it promotes law and protects victims of war. So that is the International Committee of Red Cross. So this International Committee of Red Cross and even its Indian wing has quite often raised objections when this red color plus sign is used as such by chemists or other places as such in India. So they say that this generally, that's why we see with chemists also they use the green plus. The red plus should not be used. So this is there. Then the next news item is carbon dating confirms Kizadi site is from Sangam era. So Kizadi, this is an archaeological site in Tamil Nadu. So here since 2013 excavation is taking place, and now the carbon samples which have been extracted from this site, they have been sent for carbon dating to even a US lab, and from there it has been confirmed that this sample as such is around 2200 years old. So this points to the Sangam era. So the Sangam era, the era here in Tamil Nadu region, is known through the Sangam literature. So the text Sangam literature spoke about this, the life and times of this ancient region here in Tamil Nadu. But now the archaeological evidence as such has also been found. So this is Kizadi site, a new archaeological site which has been excavated. It is in a coconut plantation region here. So this is the detail here. So the last archaeological site which was excavated in Tamil Nadu was Arikamedu. So this Arikamedu site was the habitation site exhibited, and this Kizadi is actually a major habitation site. So people lived here. So that is what it is, and it is also the Vaigai river flows through it. Also, potsherds with Tamil Brahmi script have been found from Kizadi as well. So this is here, it's shown. So this is the excavation site shown here as well too, and the details regarding carbon dating. So this is to ascertain the age of archaeological and historical remains. But carbon dating, you should know one thing, it can be known only for once living beings. So this carbon dating, as you can see, it cannot be applied to inanimate objects. So this is C14 dating, or as also known as radiocarbon dating. So this C14 and C12 are two isotopes of carbon actually. So scientific tests are applied here. So this analysis takes place of fossils and artifacts that were once living. This is important. It can be on things which were once living. Right? So here what is carbon dating is explained. So as soon as a living organism dies, it stops taking in new carbon. Otherwise the exchange as such, taking in oxygen, breathing out carbon dioxide, development of new food as such, everything takes place in the body. But as soon as the organism dies, this taking in of new carbon stops. So the ratio of carbon-12 to carbon-14 at the moment of death is the same as every other living thing. So every other living thing has this balance of C12, C14. So that balance as such at the time of death is the same, but then later as the decay takes place, what happens is C14 decays, but it is not replaced. So that is why the C14 has a half-life. So half-life for C14 is 5,700 years. So this is known. So as we know the half-life of C14, the amount of carbon-12 remains constant in the sample. Only C14 keeps on decaying. So with how much decay has taken place, if you estimate that, if that can be known, then we can know the age of the sample as such. So this is how C14 decay helps you in knowing the age, and this is what is called carbon dating. Okay. So the ratio of C12 to C14 in the sample is compared to the ratio of a living organism. So here an example is also shown here with a piece of wood. So beta decay, you can see age 0, it's balanced 100%. Then slowly you can see the decay takes place. Then this era as such from this side is of Sangam era. So this is known presently through Sangam literature. So Sangam literature is a very important part in your culture studies as well too. So Sangam literature is a body of classical Tamil literature which was developed between the years 600 BC to 300 AD. So it's a collection of around 2300 plus poems. They're composed by a huge number of poets, and some of them are even anonymous. So this detail is given here, and this is called Sangam because of the Sangams that were meeting together, meetings which were held here. You know, these legends are there that literary academies were established and they lasted thousands of years as such. So in these literary academies, all this corpus of literature was developed, and it's primarily secular literature, means it's not a religious text as such. So this Tamil literature is known as Sangam literature. So it tells you about the lives and times of this Sangam era. So now archaeological remains have also been found. The prominent Sangam literature are these. This one is Melkanakku and Kilkanakku. So Melkanakku are narrative texts, means they are giving the story, narrating the story. And Kilkanakku are didactic texts. So didactic means preaching, telling that you should do this, you should do that, like that kind of. So these are 18 major works and 18 minor works. So this is the crux of the Sangam literature as such too. Then next is Oriental white ibis nesting in Ganjam. So this is regarding this bird, Oriental white ibis. So usually in UPSC, in prelims on biodiversity, there can be any such question asked regarding various birds, migratory birds. So these birds usually migrate to Chilika Lake during the winter months, but presently we have found these birds near the Ganjam district, in the Ganjam district in Orissa as well. So here also they actually build their nests on coconut trees. So there's food material available for them here too. So they're staying here, and also this is conducive, environment is conducive for breeding. So they have their new ones also here. So this is regarding Oriental white ibis. Then next is privacy built into Aadhaar Act, says UIDAI. So this is regarding the case on right to privacy which is going on before the 9-judge constitutional bench of the Supreme Court, and now the Attorney General here is again arguing on behalf of UIDAI, Unique Identification Authority of India, which is the nodal authority to implement the Aadhaar scheme. So it has stated, Attorney General says that privacy is non-negotiable. Confidentiality is non-negotiable under the Aadhaar Act. So this is a statement here being made. So means privacy will be there, confidentiality will be there. That is without doubt. So that's what it means to say. So they have stated that apprehensions that are raised, that personal data collected during Aadhaar enrollment might weigh into the hands of private players for whom such data can be vital commercial information as such. So such apprehensions of the 9-judge bench of the Supreme Court have been responded by the Attorney General, saying that citizens cannot claim informational privacy. So when the state asks for data for legitimate purpose such as Aadhaar, the citizens cannot claim that we have privacy on this data. They have to produce that data before the government. But of course, the judiciary is keen on ensuring that safety will be taken care of. So that's what even Justice Chandrachud stated, that if the government ensures that the data will be used for the purpose as such for which it is being collected, and it will be kept safe, then the concerns which are being raised can be cleared. So security and confidentiality of information are two aspects as such, and it has been highlighted that Aadhaar Act of 2016 also specifically covers these two aspects. So that's what the government is now arguing, that it is already there. Privacy and confidentiality are already there within the provisions and as such under Aadhaar Act 2, and UIDAI will take care of it. So this is what they are trying to argue here. So this is there. Then this is the UIDI details as such. So it says that it is a statutory authority under the provisions of Aadhaar Act of 2016. So earlier actually UIDI was established as an attached office of the Planning Commission. That was in 2009. Through an executive order, just as an attached body, it was established. But later it was shifted to Department of Electronics and Information Technology under Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. Now this ministry itself has been bifurcated. So now there is no DT, it's actually MITI. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So our UIDI now functions under MITI, and it has been given statutory status also under this Act of 2016. So this is there. The functions of Aadhaar, of course, initially the objective was to issue UID, unique identification number named as Aadhaar, to all residents of India. So it should be done in such a way that there should be no duplication and fake identities, one aspect, and it should be verifiable and authenticated in easy, cost-effective manner. So this was the objective with which UIDI was established with Nandan Nilekani, Mr. Nandan Nilekani at its head. So here it is there. The first UID number was also issued in 2010 itself. It was a resident of Nandurbar district in Maharashtra. So here was the number issued, and now more than 11 crores, 111 crore people have Aadhaar numbers as such. So this is the detail here provided. And of course, security of identity information and authentication records of individuals has to be assured by UIDI. So this is part of its function, that it has to ensure the security of identity information and authentication records. Then the next news item is C-130Js arrive in Bengal IAF station. So these C-130Js are actually Super Hercules transport aircrafts. So these are called multi-skilled transport aircrafts which India has imported from US. Lockheed Martin, a US company, manufactures these transport aircraft, and we have signed a deal with US and purchased this C-130J Super Hercules. So now presently we already have 6 as a squadron in place, and now 6 more will be acquired, and out of these the first 2 C-130Js have actually arrived and they will be stationed in West Bengal. So this specifically becomes a concern because in the context of India-China standoff, which is going on in Doklam region, so that is very close to West Bengal. So the Siliguri's corridor, Chicken's Neck, that is close to West Bengal state as such too. So that's what is being highlighted here. But the authorities in India, the defense forces here, have clearly stated that this has nothing to do with the India-China standoff. This was due and has taken place. So this C-130J Super Hercules aircrafts will replace the Ilyushin 76 aircrafts of Russia. So both are capable of carrying 40 tons payload as such. So this load as such, carrying capacity is the same, but not payload, it's the load. The load will be carried, this will be the same, but it is said that C-130J of US are much more fuel efficient. So this is one point being raised as such. It will be moving faster and providing higher crew comfort as well too, compared to the IL-6 of Russia. So this is given. But there was a controversy with respect to C-130J2 in 2013 when fake Chinese microchips were discovered in the cockpit of this aircraft. So concerns were as such raised in US here too. So this is the detail here. The first squadron of C-130Js is already there in Ghaziabad, the Hindon Air Base in Ghaziabad. So here the details of the deal with US are also mentioned. You can see C-130J6, the deal here of 2007 was finalized and the Hercules aircrafts came. And now the second 6 for which the deal has been signed in 2013, we are seeing that these are also being delivered now in 2017. These are other deals also. So India is also coming closer to US. US has replaced Russia as India's biggest defense supplier now. So here are the details regarding India-US defense deals as well. Even Apache helicopters, Chinook helicopters, we have already signed deals for these two. Then next is the last news item, Bandhan Bank's NPA rise. So this is regarding Bandhan Bank, a private sector bank to which a license has been provided by RBI in 2015. It was a first microfinance institution as such, which has been given the license to function as a full-fledged private sector bank. So this license was given in 2015 by RBI. So this is Bandhan Bank Limited. So it is a very young bank here, and we are seeing that it was of course having a large number of its branches in rural areas, and it was indulging in microfinance institutions. So that was the strong background based on which the RBI also extended this bank license as such to Bandhan. So here the details which are given is regarding the NPAs. So gross non-performing assets of Bandhan Bank have risen sharply from 2016 to 2017. So if you compare the last year's NPAs as such, even the first quarter comparison is done. So last year first quarter NPA was 0.14% and this year it is 0.49%. So this drastic rise, Bandhan Bank's managing director here, founder and managing director, Mr. Chandrasekhar Ghosh, says that this has taken place primarily because many states have announced farm loan waivers. So though they say we don't directly give loans to farmers, but then we give loan to allied sectors like horticulture, etc. And repayment was not coming forth because borrowers were misled into thinking that they don't need to repay their loans. So this is one aspect. Another aspect it is raising is regarding the strike which is going on in Darjeeling. So there the commercial activity has come to a standstill. So that is why even repayment here is becoming a huge concern. So this is its region. Bandhan Bank originated in West Bengal here. So here is the detail provided as such too. It started as such in 2001 with 3 staff members, and then finally in 2015 it became the first microfinance institution to get a license to start a bank in India. So here is regarding the initial stages also as a non-banking finance corporation and the bank finally being formed given. And this is regarding the details. 91% of its credit lending in microcredit as such, and 68% of its branches are in rural areas. So this was the background on which it was provided with the license as such too by RBI. So these are the news items. Thank you.